Hello there and welcome to the Bearded Peacock. It's my channel where we talk all things Leeds United. I'm of course George. Welcome along to the channel everybody, and of course it's a match reaction, isn't it? We're reacting to that 0-0 draw against Crystal Palace in London at Selhurst Park. Now for me, this is a really good point. Let me know in the comments of course what you're thinking, what you're feeling about this point. But for me, you know, it's a good point. 5 points clear. I know Everton have a game in hand on us and everything. I wish that these games in hand would be played. But yeah, overall, I think, the way we played wasn't brilliant. I mean, we'll get into it straight away. I mean, the lineup was as I expected. Um, Click came in for Robin Koch. Obviously, Koch came on for Click at half time. He got the second half, didn't he? But I thought that might happen. I thought it'd be Click. Sorry, Koch came in for Phillips came in for Koch, didn't he? Not it was Click and Phillips that started the game. Like I said, Koch did come on for Click at half time, but and that was it as I expected. Cooper with Llorente in at centre back, and yeah, I mean, I think we never really got going in this one, did we at all? I think defensively it was very, very strong. It was a really good defensive display. I thought that, in particular, actually, shout out to Luke Ayling. I thought he played really well. I know a lot of people might say, well, the amount of times Zaha was having him on toast, and Zaha was all over him, had the beating of him, but. I don't know if he did really. I mean, at the end of the day, Wilfried Zaha didn't get any goals, didn't get any assists, didn't really have much to speak of apart from that in the second half. That double save from Melier, which was great. But overall, I think Luke Ayling, marshalled him very, very well on the whole. He's a very difficult player to play against, isn't he, Wilfried Zaha? No Vieira. I'll put on a bit of what the managers had to say in a minute. But Vieira wasn't happy, was he, about the way Wilfried Zaha was handled. He said about Leeds had come with that game plan. It was part of the game plan to stop Wilfried Zaha. Lots of fouls. I mean, Zaha, for me, I don't know. I mean, he gets fouled a lot, doesn't he? But he looks for a lot of fouls as well for me. Great player, isn't he? But and he was a catalyst for them last night. He really was. But and I must say, I was impressed with Palace. Um, high tempo. I mean, we'll put on Vieira's comments, why not, about what he said. He was obviously frustrated. He said the team were as well. They created, things at high tempo and everything like that. So I think he was pleased with the performance. He said he wasn't happy with obviously how they started at Newcastle. It was high tempo and everything like that. And obviously went on to say, he thought that they could have had more, obviously, but ultimately I think he was fairly happy with the point. Obviously, it's the same as it is for them, for us, for them as it is for us. Clean sheets, another point on the board, and after three straight defeats, I think overall it's not really a bad point for either side, really. It's quite an entertaining game. I thought, in some senses, Palace, like Vieira said, really they took it to us at high tempo. We didn't really have much in the way of chances at all. I thought, going forward, we were particularly poor. Couldn't really seem to find a white shirt, could we really? I don't know what it was. We seemed to be camped a lot in our own half. The ball just seemed to come back straight back to us, straight back to Crystal Palace. As soon as we cleared it, Palace were on the attack again, and it was basically the second half in particular was basically attack against defence, wasn't it? That was, that was what it was. I mean, it was quite hard to watch from a Leeds United point of view, but as a neutral, if you were watching as a neutral, I imagine it might have been quite entertaining to see if Crystal Palace could break us down. But obviously, ultimately, thankfully, they didn't. We end up with a point, and Jesse Marsh himself was pretty happy with it. I'll put on what he had to say. I think he was, very happy with the defensive display overall, and he said it was a big point. Obviously we're 5 unbeaten now, and I think people forget that. 5 unbeaten, it's not bad really, not bad at all. Um, 5 points clear of Everton in 18th place. So, it's for me, it's a point gained. And Jesse was quite happy with it as well. He mentioned, the strong, like I said, the strong defensive play, strong defensive plays from set pieces. Obviously, Liam Cooper had a bit of a part to play in that defensive line, didn't he? I mean, for me, Diego Llorente did all right, but he looked a little bit all over the place at times. Like I said, Luke Ayling for me was man of the match, handled Zaha very, very well. But Cooper as well playing well. I thought Dallas on the other side was very, very quiet. And like I said, ultimately, obviously we saw KP returning. It was very ordinary, wasn't he? He was very ordinary. Obviously, pretty much lacks match fitness, but you could see, to be fair, I think he was enjoying himself on the pitch there, as you would, wouldn't you, really? But, first start for 4 months, over 4 months. So yeah, obviously he enjoyed himself, but didn't really add much to the game. I'm sure in games to come and next season he will be back at it and obviously key to our success. But yeah, that was it really. Let me know what your thoughts are, of course, and hit that like and subscribe button, obviously, if you're new to the channel. But yeah, for me, ultimately, I thought good point overall. And we move on to City. Obviously, 3 difficult, very, very difficult games coming up now. Man City at home. Is it then Arsenal away and then Chelsea at home? And look, it's difficult. I know a lot of fans are saying we're going to get 0 points. We very well could come away with 0 points, but I've got a sneaky feeling that we might throw in an upset in there, and any point from I think any points, any win from any of these games obviously sees us safe. But for me, any point does. If we could nick a point, 35 points, I think probably just about sees us safe. But again, let me know your point tally. What do you think we need to keep us well away from that relegation zone? Obviously, I think five points is a decent cushion at the moment. Personally, I was very happy with that draw last night. Another point on the board, and crucially as well, it's another game played. So we now have 5 games left. 15 points to play for. Like I said, let me know how many you think we'll get from that 15 available. Obviously the pressure has been put on with Burnley winning those games, but I think we'll be all right. I know it wasn't pretty to watch last night. It was very difficult, really. But that happens sometimes, and at the end of the day, you can't play wonderful football all the time. We ground it out. We didn't concede. It's 5 unbeaten now. For me, we're going in the right direction, and it doesn't matter about performances now. It's all about results, and the lads dug in there. Well done to the defensive line. Obviously, Melee in there as well. Ultimately, we didn't show enough going forward. But Palace were always going to come at us. I thought Gallagher, second half, came into it better, had a few shots on goal, didn't he? And obviously Zaha's always a threat. I thought Mateta played a decent first half and seemed to go off the boil a little bit in the second half, but he had that chance early on. He was dangerous, and fair play to Cooper who marshalled him well, and obviously Benteke coming on in the last stage of the game as well. He did well up against him as well, so fair play to Liam Cooper, and like I say, well done all all the way through that defence, and well done to all of the lads. Hopefully we'll get something out of City. I can't see it I can see it being a real difficult match, obviously, but for me, I think we can spring an upset here, to be honest with you. Call me what you like in the comments, obviously, but I feel like we can potentially cause a bit of trouble for Man City. They've got one eye, hopefully, on that second leg. Obviously, the first leg is to play tonight, isn't it? So let's wait and see how that goes on. But yeah, they're going to have one eye on that Real Madrid. Sorry, Atletico Madrid. That was the last leg, wasn't it? Real Madrid. They're going to have another sort of one eye on that game in the midweek after we play them. So let's wait and see. For me, they're going to prioritise the Champions League. But let's wait and see. They've got a fantastic squad. Anyway, great point last night. And let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Marching on together. I'll see you on the next one.